YouTube, this is Inland47, and today we're going to be reviewing the Faxon Firearms Government SOCOM Profile Barrel. I guess we'll just start at the top. This is a 16-inch, or the model that I got is a 16-inch, obviously Government SOCOM Profile. It is a 1 1/8 twist, and it is a mid-length gas system as well. So with all that out of the way, we're just going to start off with basically a little bit of a inside story as to why I decided to switch to this barrel. Prior to this, I had the Delton factory barrel. It was a 16 inch as well. It was a 1 9 twist, and it was a lightweight pencil thin barrel. Now, I bought this rifle in, oh God, was it? It was early in the summer of 2012. I bought this rifle and haven't changed it much since then. But recently, towards I'd say about the beginning of the year or so of this year, we took it out shooting and started noticing that it was keyholing really, really badly, to the point of where it was affecting my accuracy. At first we noticed it was just something simple as maybe a maximum of 3 rounds per magazine of 30, to the point of, God, I want to say late February. By that point, it was keyholing consistently nonstop. We would run a magazine of 30 rounds and it was just all keyhole. And we tried multiple different things. We tried it at, maybe it was just the range that we were shooting it at. We tried different ammo types. Even though it was a 1 9 inch twist, I decided to go ahead and throw some 62 grain in there just to see if that would fix it. It didn't. It still keyholed with 62 grain. And then the range thing, we tried it, and we put a paper target 5 yards away from the end of from the muzzle, and it put a perfect keyhole through that piece of paper at 5 yards away. So we were at a loss of words. As a matter of fact, my father-in-law shipped it out back to Delton, and is kind of just waiting their response to see actually what is wrong with it, because we took it off and we looked at it. Other than the fact that it was a little dirty on the outside, around the gas port and all that kind of stuff, the barrel's clean. We excuse me, we were in shock at how clean the barrel was for being 3.5 years old and having minimum of 2,000 rounds put through this barrel. And so it's in Delton right now, and we're waiting their response to see what they get back from us. But all they're doing is basically just going to be looking it over and telling us what is actually causing the issues. So moving on, that is the reason why I decided to go with this barrel. It's more or less just why not? I needed an excuse to get a heavier barrel on this rifle, which is ultimately what I wanted. I wanted something a little heavier, being that I am a bigger guy. I can handle the weight, a little extra weight of a heavier profiled barrel. And yeah, so we decided to go with this one. I also wanted it for the accuracy too, and I wanted to change the twist rate on the barrel. I didn't want that 1 9 no more being pretty much stuck to just 55 grain. Recommended wasn't quite doing it for me. So we decided to go with the 1 8 inch twist. I kept it at 16 inches. I like that length. You can still swing it if you need to. You can still operate in tight quarters if you need it to, without being too much of a poker. And you can still get some pretty good accuracy out to a max of about 300 yards with that length. So we figured that was a good length to stick with. Now, we went to the mid length to change it up from the carbine length. mostly just because it's not really much of a bigger deal. But the military, they have their M4s, which are 14.5-inch barrel lengths, as the carbine system. That is what the carbine system was originally designed to be for, was for the M4s with the 14.5-inch profile, with 14.5-inch barrels. Being as that this is a 16-inch barrel, it would actually do it a lot better to increase that gas length just a little bit by bumping it up to a mid-length. It kind of slows it up a little bit, so the gas that travels through the barrel at that rate, it'll take it just a tiny bit longer. You won't even notice it, to be honest with you. You won't even notice the timing off of it, but it'll take it a little bit longer. In terms, if you were to fire this rifle full auto, it would slow your rate of fire down. But obviously, since this is not a full auto weapon, it's not going to matter. But in terms of noticing of anything, your felt recoil is definitely softer. Now, this is a 223-5.56 rifle. You ain't going to get much recoil, but it is much smoother. There is a definite smoothness to it, and even everybody that shot it even said, yes, this is much smoother shooting now than it used to be. So, excuse me again. I am sorry. So with all that going on, there's just a kind of a history on it, why I did this. And as of right now, I have no regrets on it. So with that being said, now that we're 6 and 7 minutes into this, let's go ahead and get into some stats here. The barrel itself has had probably, it's over 1,000 rounds through it now. But when I initially bought the barrel and installed it, we went out and bought a case of 1,000 rounds of just some Federal 55 grain FMJs, boat tails, no big deal. And went ahead and shot those through it. And actually, it's just got, I said that. It's got just over 1,000 rounds through it. So that's nice. It's been put through its paces these last couple months. And we've also done some accuracy testing with it. And without further ado, let's get those knocked out of the way. So this first target that's going to pop up on the screen is kind of just a general overview of how the barrel shot when we first started shooting paper with it. I also bought that Vortex red dot sight on it, that Strikefire 2. So we were kind of also testing that once we got it sighted in and everything, testing the zero capabilities on that. But that first group you're going to see it's 2 separate groups, 30 rounds each. Wow, that thing is loud. Anyway, the top group is, of course, from the Vortex red dot sight, and the bottom group is just iron sights, and that's just us goofing around, just trying to see what it would look like on paper. So nothing real special there. The next target is probably one of the better targets I have shot with this rifle so far, if not the best target. And that is the 25 meter zero target. It's a military silhouette target. And this was set out at 25 meters, which, for those of you who don't know meters to yards very well, it's roughly just over 27 yards. And that is 30 rounds, all put into that one, put into that one whole group. There's a few flyers to make it actually not a one whole group, but I need to watch what I say on this thing. Next target is, that one's, I can't focus on that. There we go. That one is just trying to get an idea for what the accuracy can be like. This was one of those first targets that we shot again. It's at 15 yards, nothing real fancy. I believe that was iron sights, I believe. Yeah, I believe it was iron sights, and it was one of those rapid groups that we tested just to see what kind of accuracy we can get out of rapid shooting it, so on and so forth. And then the next target is this one. There's 2 more targets prior to this one, but I basically set up a couple targets down there, and we pretty much just mag dumped the rifle. One of the videos I watched on YouTube, there was a guy talking about the lightweight profile barrel that they made, and he did a mag dump and said, now I can pretty much, accurately still shoot this thing even when the barrel is hot to the touch. And by God, he did. And that's what I tried to replicate with this barrel. So I basically dumped 2 mags, 30 rounds each, so 60 rounds, as fast as I could, to the point of where the barrel was so hot, and even though it was free floated, it had still even heated up my Troy handguard, my quad rail, to the point of where I couldn't touch it at all. Even with the handguard covers and the mag pull stop kit on it, it didn't matter. I still couldn't touch it anywhere near it. So I had to throw on a glove, but during that time, that was the only cooldown time that it had, of the time that it took me to throw on my glove and go ahead and slap another mag in the rifle. And up in the top left corner of that target there, you can see the grouping that I set, and that was at rest. That was rested, of course, attempting to get maximum accuracy. And that's what it pulled off at 50 yards, I believe. Yes, that was 50 yards. So that was a pretty good group. A couple goofing around targets here. Here we go. This one is the only 100-yard target that I actually have, and I think this is going to be the last target. And we got one at 75 yards too. But this one we decided to just goof off. In the video of me and my father-in-law sitting there on the shooting bench, this is this group that we pulled off with that video. And at 100 yards, that's not a bad group for 10 rounds. But being as the fact that there's no magnification to this is strictly off of me shooting with my red dot. By the way, if you want to get real bad tunnel vision, that's how you do it. Put a target out at 100 yards with a red dot sight. Wow. But actually, for a group that size, and that's about the size of a human palm target. So I don't know, a 2.5, 3-inch group, roughly, at 100 yards with a red dot sight. So I wasn't, excited about that group, but I wasn't not impressed with that group. It did a lot better than I thought it was going to do. And actually, yes, I lied. That was the last target that I have. So anyway, so that being said, there's obviously still a lot more that I could do, but right now with everything just going on, I really wanted to push this rifle a lot farther than 100 yards, but that would require a good quality rifle scope that I just do not have right now. And there's nobody that owns a scope that I can lend, because everybody that owns a scope is using it for something. So I didn't want to be that guy. But overall, my idea or my views on this barrel is it was definitely worth the money. I enjoy this new barrel. It's a lot nicer than that pencil thin barrel was. Granted, it's heavier, but what can you expect? It's a SOCOM government profile. Yeah, it's going to be heavier, but with that weight, you're gaining tremendous amount of accuracy out of it. Would I prefer that it be fluted and keep that profiling? Hell yes. I would love it if it were fluted. But overall, well worth the money. Great buy, and I would highly recommend Faxon Firearms to you guys. Look into their stuff, do your own research, figure out what'll best fit for you, and they've got everything. I mean, they've got barrels for almost any caliber you want to any length you want. I think the shortest one I seen in there was it 7 inches? I think it was either 7 or 10 inches, and the longest one I seen was 24 or 26 inches. So they've got that range of barrels that you want, and they're full-fledged. So overall, great quality, great product, and that's going to wrap it up for me. So hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope you weren't too bored, and I hope to see you again soon the next time. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Later, guys.